You probably think your TV is outdated because a sharper resolution came along. It doesn't work that way. Every flat screen you've ever owned, plasma, LCD, OLED, the 4K one on your wall right now, has been selling you the exact same illusion since the 1960s. And it's working. 4K sets now make up close to 80% of every television sold on Earth, and around 72% of US households already own at least one. That's not a niche upgrade anymore. That's the entire industry's business model. But a small manufacturing company in Brooklyn, New York, filed patents this year that quietly threatened that entire model, not a VR headset. Not a gimmick from a 2011 electronics show. An actual holographic panel that can be built on the same production lines already making your current TV. If that sounds far off, then stick around, because a version of it already shipped to real customers in 2026. Here's the part nobody explains to you at the store. A screen doesn't actually show you a three-dimensional world. It shows you one flat image, and your brain does the rest. Every pixel on that panel is fixed in place. It sends the exact same light in every direction, which means a person sitting to your left and a person sitting to your right are looking at the identical picture. Real depth perception doesn't work like that. Your two eyes sit a few centimeters apart, and each one catches a slightly different angle. Your brain compares those two angles and builds the sense of depth. A flat panel physically cannot reproduce that. So decades ago, the industry made a choice. Since depth couldn't be solved cheaply, sell resolution instead. That's the real story behind 4K and then 8K. It's less about realism and more about giving you a new number to chase. Because depth was the one dimension a flat screen genuinely couldn't deliver, there have been real attempts to fix this. And it's worth knowing why they didn't stick. Around 2010, glasses-based 3D TV showed up in every showroom. It faked depth by splitting the image between your two eyes using special lenses. It was expensive, gave a lot of people headaches, and almost no studios filmed content specifically for it. By 2013, most manufacturers had quietly dropped the feature. A few years later, handheld gaming tried a glasses-free version. You may remember the Nintendo 3DS. It used a technique called a parallax barrier to send slightly different images to each eye without glasses. It worked, but only if you held your head at almost exactly the right angle, and only for one viewer at a time. Neither approach solved the actual requirement. Real depth, viewable by a group, without headgear, at a price close to a normal screen. That's the wall the display industry has been stuck behind since Pepper's ghost illusions in theaters in the 1800s. Interesting effects, but never something you could mass produce at TV scale for a whole family at a normal price until this year. In June 2026, a US company called Looking Glass Factory published a breakthrough they'd been developing for years. They already had a working holographic panel called the hololuminescent display, or HLD, which won the Society for Information Display's Display of the Year award in 2026, the same industry body that has previously recognized breakthroughs like early OLED panels. This isn't a crowdfunding pitch. It's a credentialed engineering achievement judged by display engineers, but the announcement that actually matters is their second-generation panel. One that can switch electronically between a completely normal 2D screen and a full holographic image on the same panel with no moving parts. Here's why that's a bigger deal than it sounds. The industry has long agreed on 4 requirements for a true Holy Grail display. No headgear, group viewable, cost competitive at mass scale, and 0 loss of quality in ordinary 2D mode. For decades, engineers could usually hit 2 or 3 of those at once, never all 4 together. Looking Glass says this new panel can be manufactured using roll-to-roll processes on existing LCD production lines, the same lines already producing the television in your living room, without retooling the factory. That's the detail that actually matters here. It's not just that holograms work. It's that they could eventually be built for close to the cost of the screen you already own, using equipment that already exists. And it's also worth knowing this isn't happening in isolation. Other major manufacturers have been circling the same problem from different angles. Sony has its own spatial reality display line built around eye-tracking optics, and several manufacturers have shown transparent and glasses-free concept panels at trade shows in recent years. The point isn't that one company has won, it's that the entire industry is racing toward the same wall. Looking Glass just found a legitimate crack-in, and this isn't purely a lab demo either. The same company already has a consumer product on shelves, On a holographic photo and video frame that converts an ordinary photo or clip into a floating 3D image, no glass is required, which launched with an introductory price around $99. So this isn't 10 years out. A version of it is already in people's homes. The version scaled up for TVs and monitors is the openly stated next step. So what do you actually do with this information as a regular consumer? Step 1. Pause the upgrade panic. If your current TV works fine, there's no rush to chase the newest 8K flagship. You now know resolution was never the actual bottleneck. Depth was. A next-generation panel using this manufacturing approach could make this year's top-of-the-line TV feel outdated the same way glasses-based 3D sets did a decade ago. Step 2. If you want to try holographic display tech today, buy directly from the manufacturer, not a random third-party listing. Buying direct gets you the actual manufacturer warranty, verified authentic hardware, and access to firmware updates as the technology matures. A gray market resale listing usually won't carry any of that protection. Step 3. Verify claims through public sources instead of press hype. Engineering blogs and industry awards, like the SID Display of the Year list, and to reveal what's genuinely shipping months before it becomes a headline. U.S. Patents are also public record, searchable for free through the USPTO's own database, so you can check a manufacturing claim like this yourself rather than taking a company's word for it. Step 4. Treat coming to existing production lines as a timeline claim, not a promise. Manufacturing announcements slip regularly. The smart move isn't pre-ordering the first big screen version blindly. It's waiting for independent reviewers to confirm real-world performance, the same way you'd treat any first-generation hardware. Step 5. If you do bring one of these displays into your home, set it up the same way you would any new screen, following the manufacturer's stated viewing, distance, and brightness guidelines. New display formats sometimes have different recommended setup conditions than a standard flat panel, so it's worth a quick read of the included manual rather than assuming it behaves identically to your old TV. None of this requires bypassing anything, jailbreaking a device, or gaming a return policy. It's simply paying attention to what the industry is already publishing and buying on your own schedule instead of the marketing calendars. At the end of the day, the TV industry isn't lying to you. It's betting that you won't look past the spec sheet on the box, knowing how the underlying technology actually works and what a company can and can't legitimately claim is what lets you buy on your own terms. So that's really the whole point of understanding any system. Not to beat it, just to stop being the last one to find out how it works. If you found this useful, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.